So, hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole, and today I'm going to be playing what I'm going to call the Unicorn Games. So, this is the game that I play to help me pick what I'm going to read, in this case, in the month of February. So, I guess I'll go over a very short explanation of how this game works. So, basically, all I'm trying to do is pick enough books so that I have 3,000 pages worth of reading to do in 1 month. And that's just so that I can hit a goal that I have. So, to set up the game, I have my bookshelf behind me, which contains all my physical books that I have left to read, and they are organized in alphabetical order by title. A little unusual, I know. To play the game, it's pretty simple. I have here a deck of cards, and yes, they're different than the one that I've been using because they contain all the letters of the alphabet a couple of times. I pick a card, in this case, the letter S, and then I go to my spinner wheel. So here's my spinner wheel. This wheel basically just has prompts on it that are related to different book projects or goals that I have. And I'll explain them as they come up in the game because it'll just take too long to do it any other way. So, like I said, after I pick my card, I spin the wheel, and those two things together help me find a book on my bookshelf, in theory. That doesn't always work out. Sometimes I don't have a book that matches those two things combined, and that's where the unicorn comes in. So, if need be, I can pick a slip of paper out of this unicorn. In this unicorn now is just about every book on my bookshelf, or at least as many as I could fit in here. Don't worry, she has a little fenced in yard that she lives in, and there's more books in there. Because, yeah, I own a lot of books. So, if I have to pick from this unicorn, it could be any book that I own. And there's maybe some books in here that I don't own, and I'll just skip those. So to start, I'm going to put 0 pages up, and that tracker will keep going until I'm at 3,000 pages or more, which can sometimes get a little hairy at the end. I also have 4 different books that I am hoping to get onto this TBR. The first one is Black Hawk Down. This is a book that my son really would like me to read, and I'm interested in it for personal reasons. For my friend book club pick, and in honor of Black History Month, I'd like to get The Underground Railroad by Coleson Whitehead. And because in March there is the second movie in the series coming out, I'll maybe try and get Dune on there so I can read that. So we'll see. For my family book club, we will be reading Mad Honey this month. And so it would be nice if that was part of my list. All right, my first letter is the letter N. Ooh, interesting. All right. Okay, this may not be as scary as it was in the past. If you watch my recent video on the acquiring tag, you will know that I have reorganized my unhaul cart. And I guess I'll do a video and show you what's on there now. But I can say this, I am more excited to get this prompt now than I would have been a couple of weeks ago. So, well, we'll see. Because you never know when you actually finally go and look. Anyway, let me go grab a book. So this is what it looks like when you get too excited too soon. Yeah, there's no ends on that cart. Oh, what will this unicorn give me? I'll reach all the way down here. Okay. At one point, these slips of papers were color coordinated by lengths of book. I don't remember what this is. Oh, Hanta. Okay, this is good. This is actually a book I really want to read. Hanta is by Ruth Beebe Hill. I think that's how you say her middle name. And it's subtitled An American Saga. I'm not sure because this is an older book if it will be problematic or not, but it's historical fiction, and I've heard that it's supposed to be really well written and a really good read. So we'll see how that has held up over time, I guess, is how I'll look at it. Hantio is 1,077 pages long. Okay, keeping things moving, my next pick is the letter C. I have a lot of books with the letter C, so that's good. Okay, so back to the wheel. I am going to say that I did find that in January it worked out really well, I guess, for me to remove the prompts as I went. So I'm going to do that. I do have Unhaul Cart on here twice because I really want to read some of the books off my Unhaul Cart because I need to get them out of here. Okay, so I need to choose a seasonal pick, but I do mean slightly more than just weather related. So it needs to be a book that either is set in winter or has wintry vibes, or it needs to be somehow related to the month. So in the month of February, I tend to think of romance, and I also think of Black History Month. So it can be a romance, it could be something wintry, or it could be something Black History Month related. So let me go and see what book that will be. I got The Confessions of Nat Turner by William Styron. This is a book that I picked up from my used bookstore with some extra credit that I had because it kept coming up in other books that I was reading. So it made me very curious about the story itself. It is a fictional recount of a real event. Nat Turner is known for successfully holding a slave revolt. This is a fictional account of that where he's basically confessing to his jailers about why he did what he did. So I'm really interested and excited. I don't know if that's the right word to read this book. And the Confessions of Turner are 455 pages. My next pick is the letter V. Ooh, I know what I want. So one of the things that I have found the last couple of months is I'm not reading as many classics as I'd like, so I'm really going to try and get some more on this TBR. All right, let me remove seasonal. Okay, I am excited. I made a video that listed my 24 most anticipated books for 2024, and I assigned one for every letter of the alphabet that I had on my shelf. So this is already pre-picked, and I'm pretty sure I know what it is because I think I only own 3 books that start with the letter V. I'm getting really excited about this list. So the book is Vilette by Charlotte Bronte, and I have been wanting to read this for a while. I feel like this book has become more well known recently. This book is about Lucy Snow, who basically leaves England and moves to somewhere else on the continent, to the town of Vilette. And there she works at a boarding school and it explores her struggles with feelings of isolation and just the general loneliness of working in that type of situation. So I think it's going to be a really interesting study in the types of work that women could do during the Victorian period, but the challenges that they would face in having to do it. And Villette is 476 pages. Okay, well, unless I start getting some very short books, this is going to end up being a pretty small TBR, but that's okay. My next pick, the letter A. All right, so remove this prompt. Awesome. Okay, so this is a prompt reminding me to pick a book project, and I'm pretty sure I know which one I'm going to pick. Okay, I'm super excited. The book I picked is Armadale by Wilkie Collins. So the reason I'm excited about this is one, I love Wilkie Collins, but two, I recently finished reading No Name, and I mentioned it in one of my videos about how much I loved that book. And somebody mentioned that they also really liked that book, but they liked this one better. So that just made me even more excited to read it. So, the book project that this is related to is I have a sort of series of projects that are interrelated going where I am trying to read certain authors basically to zero, which means I'm just trying to read all of their works, at least all of their works that I can get a hold of. And Wilkie Collins is definitely one of those authors for me. So, to help with this, probably what I will do is I'll now start a video series on Wilkie Collins where probably I will share the books of his that I have already read, as well as those that are still on my shelf left to read. And I'll talk a little bit about each of them. So look for that to come up probably sometime this month. Armadale is 661 pages long. Here's where this game always gets a little hairy for me. I do play until I'm over 3,000, and I'm pretty close, and I don't own a lot of short books. So we'll see how this last pick goes. The letter Q. Oh boy. I have 3 books that start with the letter Q. Let's see if this wheel will be nice to me. Oh, that doesn't count. I forgot to take book project off. That's funny. Darn, because I knew exactly what I was gonna pick too. Okay, let me spin again. Okay. Well, I said I wanted more things off my unhaul cart. but I want to actually pick something off my uncall cart. And because I just looked, I know there's nothing on there that starts with the letter Q. Yeah, I just double checked. There's not. Oh well, it's not called the Unicorn Games for nothing. Maybe I should call it You Got Played instead. Hmm. That sounds about right. There you go, back out to pasture. Okay, what did I get? Oh my gosh! Was it My Best Friend? I have been wanting to read this book. Let me go get it. The book that the unicorn gave to me from its heart of kindness or evilness, now that I'm thinking about this, because this could go one of two ways, is Three Men in a Boat by Jerome King Jerome. I have wanted to read this book ever since I read To Say Nothing of the Dog by Connie Willis, because her book, which I thought was hilarious and a great time, though it's sci-fi, was partially inspired by this book. And this book inspired, I believe, the Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens, or maybe vice versa. Anyway, uh, this book comes highly recommended by some people and it's supposed to be a great fun laugh. And it's short. So, but the reason I said this could go one of two ways is it could be just the right length to kick me over 3,000, or it could be just short enough that I have to pick another book. 3 Men in a Boat is 324 pages long. And guys, that brings me to 7 pages short of 3,000, which means that unicorn was not my friend. She cursed me. I mean, at least she gave me a good book to send me down in flames with. Okay, well, here we go with one more pick. Maybe it'll be a short story that I'll come up with. Doubting it. Oh my gosh, this is probably the best TBR I'm ever going to have. So, in this deck of card, there are, I think, just two of these cards, which is the little smiley bumblebee face. And I decided that if I pick this card, it's a free pick. And instead of having to go with a book in a certain letter section, I can pick from any book on my shelf. However, it does still have to match whatever prompt I get. So let's spin the wheel. Okay, remove. Okay. Could be a 52 book prompt, book club prompt, or a series. Okay. I feel like this should go well either way. Okay. So I got 52 book club. So the 52 book club is actually the 52 book club challenge. And there's a YouTube channel that I will put down in the description that you can go to learn more about. I am participating in this challenge, and the way that I decided to work it into my TBR is I've put all the 52 of the prompts from the challenge in this bag, and I'm going to choose one and pick any book on my shelf that matches that prompt. So hopefully it's one that's fairly suggestive, but easy. A cover without people on it. Okay, I can do that. Ooh, I think I know what I want to do too. Okay, I was gonna pick books off my shelf, and then I remembered I have these three books that were my hopefuls. So let's look. Okay, this doesn't have people on it. Oh, sorry, Dune does. And interestingly, the Underground Railroad does as well. So I guess I'll be adding Black Hawk Down because I know no matter what I do, my son's gonna want me to read this book anyway, so might as well put it on here. So you can see the total number of pages that I have to read so far. Let's recount what this TBR is looking like. I'm really excited about it. I said I wanted more classics on it, and I got more classics on it. So for my first pick, I pulled the letter N, and it ended up being a unicorn pick, and that ended up with Hanta. My second pick was a the letter C was a seasonal pick. And for that, I got Confessions of Nat Turner. For V 24 and 24, I picked Vilette. A was a book project, which got me Armadale. Q, yeah, no, that ended up being another unicorn pick. And that got me Three Men in a Boat, which I'm super excited to read. And the last one, I got the honeybee, the smiling bee, and that gave me a free pick that had to be in a 52 book club prompt, which was a book without a person on the cover, and I added Black Hawk Down for that. However, I do still need to read my book club pick, which is The Underground Railroad. So that will be added into my page count total. And I do also need to read Mad Honey for my family book club pick, but that won't be added into my page count total. But I will show you the total number of pages that will then equal. And because I'm a glutton for punishment, I still want to try and fit Dune in. So yeah, and I do own Dune. So if I do read it, that will, be added to my page count total. So here are the books that I hope to read in the month of February, as well as Mad Honey. And here's the total number of pages that would be if I read them all. Okay. Well, I am now surrounded by books and papers and all sorts of things, so I'm going to put them away. But let me know if you have read any of these books and if you've liked them.